Welcome to the channel. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me, where I put on drag makeup to film a video later today. And my question, as usual, is how is everyone's reading going this week? And we have John Crow is here. Yay. Hey, John. And Frank is here. What's up? Early days. Lynette is here. Alrighty. Full house. My reading hasn't been going very good. I decided to read some middle grade books. If you don't know, I'm trying to break in as a middle grade writer. And I read one book that was pretty good. It was like a spooky book called Tales Dark and Grim, GRIMM. And then I'm reading this one by Erin Entrada Kelly, who is a middle grade author who has won like awards and whatnot. And I'm reading Hello Universe right now. And it's a good book. It's well written, but it's kind of depressing. And if I was like in 5th or 6th grade, I would hate this type of book because it's such a serious, contemporary story. And back then, I wanted like The Mushroom Men Go to Mars, or Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, or A Wrinkle in Time. Not like serious contemporary stories. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Reading Eruption by Michael Crichton and John Patterson. So far, so good. Yay. Reading The King Beyond the Gate. That sounds good. Fantasy. Hamnet. 4.5 out of 5. I've heard so much about Hamnet. And almost finished Hard Landing by Aldous Burtis. I have not read that. I think the only thing I've read by him is he did what Flowers for Algernon. Is that it? Aldous Burtis. Should not give kids sad books. Well, I mean, if books that have an emotional impact, obviously isn't bad to give the books feels, but I'm just saying that if I were a kid, I would not pick up that book. I would not like that book. Whether to read Eruption because I love Michael Crichton, but not Patterson. Yeah, finish it off, Frank, and tell us. So I don't know what I'm going to read next because I'm kind of tempted. Because for Shove It or Shove It, I got the, what's it called? Space Ghost Station on S.A. Barnes. But there is that other science fiction book that looked so cool. And someone told me it was because she read the blurb. And it was like Knives Out in space. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Which, because it's Knives Out is a murder mystery. Let me look that book up. I may get that book. Maybe I'll try to find it in the library. But the cover was so cool. It was actually my favorite cover, but I wanted to. It pushed me over to get horror because I haven't done a horror yet. Okay, it was called Escape Velocity by Victor Manibo. Yeah. Space Habitat Altair is the premier luxury resort in low Earth orbit. Da, 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 da. But you know what? It only has 3 stars on Goodreads. Maybe I won't get it. It has a cool cover though. Or I may just get the last Flavia de Luz, because I'm on the next to the last book prior to her, or the new release coming out in September, I think. I don't know. No, Burtis wrote Rogue Moon. Daniel Keyes wrote Flowers to Algernon. I don't know Rogue Moon. Why do I know the name Aldous Burgess? I must have read something by him, but neither of those ring a bell. Knives Out, great film. Audible had a site-wide sale, so you brought more than 80 books. Holy crap, Lynette, 80 books. Craig did a good Southern accent on it. Oh. Think of giving in and getting 3-body box set. Oh, that's the other one. Because I read the first 2 in 3-body, and I'm like, I'm so on the fence with reading the last one, but maybe I should just read it. Maybe I should just pull the trigger and read it. But I also want to read the Adrian Tchaikovsky trilogy that won the Hugo. So many. Okay, let me get started on some makeup. This week, I'm going to be releasing the second 10 science fiction top 100 authors. But one thing I've been noticing, because a lot of these writers that I like read in the 80s and have very fond, or 70s even, or 90s, and have very fond memories of reading their books. And so when I go back to do the video and I do a little research, like these series that I'm like, oh, I should recommend this series, they'll blown up. They're like this one book, C.J. Cherry, spoiler, C.J. Cherry is going to be one of the authors. She wrote this book, Foreigner, or this trilogy, Foreigner, and I think I have it back here somewhere. And so I was looking it up on like Wikipedia, saying the date of release and all that. And there's like over 20 books in the series now. But I kind of get it. If a series does well, you want to like continue at it. But a lot of the series I'm recommending, I probably haven't finished them, which is why I often say I recommend the original trilogy. Okay, what color should I do? Let me see. Flowers was a good film in the 60s called Charlie. Yes, excellent movie. Cliff Robertson played the lead. Love that movie. Yay. Lori's here. Hey, Lori. No, I've seen it. I've seen Charlie. Yes, that is the movie, John. I went to a jigsaw puzzle swap and I carried 70 puzzles to the swap and bought 18 back. Well, if it's a swap, do you have to buy them or do you just like exchange them? It's good but very sad. Yeah. Mooney's here. Hey, Mooney. Robertson, great American actor. What else has he been in? Okay, I need to pick a color. Actually, I'm gonna outline how I want to do this. Okay. Watch the American version of Invaders from Mars. Is that the one from the 80s with Lorraine Newman? We do swap them. There needs to be book swaps, but I suppose I do that with the little free libraries, right? Prefer the British movie. The cartoon one with Jack Nicholson. Oh boy, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh, you're okay. What Frank's talking about is the Tim Burton one, right? Which has a very cartoon look to it. I thought it was hilarious. It's pouring rain here. Oh, I'm sorry, Lori. 1953 one. Cappuccino, it's here. Yay. Thank you for joining. Okay, I still haven't picked out a color. So I did black, and I got some black jewelry. I don't think I want black makeup. I'm just going to do blue. Just going to do blue. Sunny in War. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm in Las Vegas, so it is 102 degrees out and sunny. I've actually been doing a lot of walking because I've been too sedentary, and it's kind of caught up with me health-wise. Actually, this week I'm going in for an angiogram, which I've never had before, which sounds kind of scary. Anyway, So in this type of heat, you don't really want to go out and expose your skin. So I have like this big sun hat and a sun jacket and sun pants, which are just like a sweat jacket and sweatpants, except the material is really, really thin and breathable. Um, but I know I must look so strange. Sunny and warm in the deep south. Yes, Mars Attacks, that's it. Especially as my mother used to play Indian Love Call all the time when I was growing up. Is that the Wayne Newton song? I walked a couple of blocks further than I usually do on Monday and found another free library. Yay. I'll be careful, Lori. Thank you. The Cowsills Indian Lake first record bought with my own money. Okay, have a good day, John. Thank you for dropping in. I recently finished what I think might be the best book for me of the year. Same Bed, Different Dreams by Ed Park, a literary speculative alternate history of Korea and the Korean War. I am interested. Maybe that's the book I'm going to read. I've been looking for a new book to read this week, Cab. I think it was Slim Whitman. It made the Martian's head explode. I can't understand why. No, it was definitely Wayne Newton in the movie. Who, by the way, is still performing here in Las Vegas. I have no idea how old he is, but I mean, he must be in his 80s. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's in his 70s. But Wayne Newton has been a staple of Las Vegas for a long, long time, which is why he was the singer in Vegas. Him and who was the guy at the very end? The Tommy Jones. Heard of Slim Pickens, but can't pull up Slim Whitman. Slim Pickens. Okay. What's that book called? Same Bed, Different Dreams by Ed Park. I'm just pasting it over to make sure I remember it. Has anyone read the Jade War Greenbone saga? It starts with Jade War or Jade City is the first one, right? But that kind of reminds me of, I mean, it's not really alternate history. It's definitely not alternate history, but it's a reimagining of a world that really parallels the Cold War on here on Earth with the different factions. And I believe, I forgot the name of the continent or the island that takes place on, but it felt as though it was sort of a metaphor of like Korea or Vietnam. Uh, from the Cold War era in the 70s. Is here Wayne Newton? Your mom's version might have been Whitman's version. Johnny Carson used to make fun of that guy on his show all the time, till he confronted Carson and personally. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Wayne Newton. Yeah, he was kind of a punchline because he's just so Vegas. He's like Mr. Vegas. Oh, Cap, you got to read the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. One of my favorite fantasy series in a long time. I was going to say contemporary, but it's not really because it's that very specific. I mean, for those of us who are old enough and remember the Cold War, that very specific time period of like the 70s, 80s with that type of technology, but it also has a Godfather vibe to it because the Greenbone Society is very sort of organized crime setup. Really good. Yes, I love The Watchmen. I love Alan Moore. I liked Alan Moore when he started in the DC Swamp Thing. One of the best comic graphic novel writers ever. Noon is 82. Wow. You know, I should really go see him just to say I saw him because, you know, it's sort of a historic thing. Love Doctor Who this week. I'll talk. Okay, let me just finish up here. He outlived his tormentor, Wayne Newton. We had a home near Wayne Newton's ranch outside Vegas. He raised horses. Don't remember what kind. Another classic baddie brought back. Yeah, because you guys know, my favorite Doctor Who is the fourth Doctor's Tom Baker. And are we going to spoil it for people? I feel like I'm not really, the people that have watched Doctor Who have watched it. And anyway, the archvillain Sutek is from the fourth Doctor. At least that's how I remember him. And the fourth Doctor, I've seen all of the episodes multiple times. So I was curious that it's Sutek. It's from a race called the Osirans. I mean, it's very tongue-in-cheek, Egyptian inspired. But I think the Doctor killed him in Pyramids from Mars. But he was like trapped in a time tunnel, yada, yada, yada. So it'd be easy to justify bringing him back. But I think there's a reason why. I think I put a finger on like some of these episodes I'm just not vibing with that much. And part of it is I felt like the doctors that I really liked, the episodes I really liked, even if they're like have this high fantasy motif, there's always this underlying scientific explanation or whatever justification behind it. And and I said before during the Jinx episode, it just feels like it's going full fantasy. And for Doctor Who, because I love fantasy, but for anything, you need to be able to suspend your disbelief. And for me, I just am missing sort of that scientific logic that I'm used to with Doctor Who that just allows me to suspend my disbelief. Because the Sutek of the Fourth Doctor may have thought of himself as a god, but was presented as just a megalomaniac from a higher race that may have had the power to destroy the universe or whatever, but was still just a mortal being that could live for 10,000 years, but but anyway, that said, I don't really mean to well, I do mean to critique. This is my own little critique of the Doctor, but I am enjoying this season, and I am really curious about bringing the Doctor's granddaughter back because we have this other old woman that was the neighbor of Ruby, and is that Susan? Because that'd be weird. And yeah, I'm curious about this, where it's going to take us. Are you rich? We didn't hang out. Never wanted to go to Vegas, but I'm weird like you. Or am I the weird one? Well, I'll tell you, I grew up in a place called Hemet, California, which is very near Palm Springs. So I'm actually used to very dry, hot weather. Um, and I like Vegas because not the strip. I don't hang out at the strip, which is the gambling area. And Vegas is huge. In the strip where the tourists go, it's just a very tiny little sliver of Vegas. Um, but that said, I like going to shows. I'm not a gambler, so I don't really go to casinos. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Susan Flood might be Foreman. Some people are suggesting that Susan is Ruby's mother or grandmother, or else she is an older Ruby. I thought of that too, but wouldn't they know if she had two hearts that she's not quite human? Five? I have no idea. I have no idea, Frank. Oh, that Mrs. Flood is an older Ruby. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, but what would blow my mind is what you suggested before is if this is all a altered reality, some type of matrix. I have a feeling it's not, but who knows? Okay. Um, think that's all I want to do with blue. To cut the crease though, I think I could do pink. I could do blue. Why don't I just do all blue? I don't think I've done that in a while. Sort of blue on blue. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Meant that so many people want to go there, but I don't think you're weird. Okay. Well, it is an experience if you haven't been to Vegas before, the Strip and the casinos and whatnot. And one of the things about Vegas is they make so much money gambling, people gambling, that they can have cheaper oh shoot, I forgot to, well, they can have cheaper hotel rates than some areas. So it's a really popular destination for like conventions. Okay, let me cut the crease. So yeah, Vegas hosts a lot of different conventions. And of course, the hope is that the people that go to the conventions will then go to the casinos. Which is how they justify the low prices for the the rooms and whatnot. Anyway, keep seeing YouTube videos that say we are in a simulation, but are the people who made the simulations in one too? Yep, we could go down a big old fractal of simulations. Ooh, that's exciting. Can't wait to see House of the Dragons. One of his friends wanted to visit my son tomorrow, but my son said no because House of the Dragons is on. Well, we could watch it together. I've bought my son up right. He and like so many of the same things. Well, that's cool. That's so cool. Reason I asked, used to know a social worker who said was looking forward to go to Vegas with her girlfriend, and I told you are the last person I think want to go there. it is kind of crazy of how prevalent gambling is here. Because even the, if you go to the grocery store, like the Albertsons, a couple blocks from me, it's a grocery store, but there's a little section for that has like 10 slot machines. So you can go to the grocery store, buy your groceries, play the slots. And there's all these sorts of, looking for a light blue, of little mini casino, or they're almost like 7-Elevens or convenience stores that are like all scattered all over Las Vegas, which are basically just slot machines. And you could probably buy drinks or something in them. Actually, this is wrong. Okay, this is a lot of blue. I think the Umbrella Academy starts on July 31. It's been a long wait. It's a convenience store around the corner of me, has video poker. Where do you live again, Frank? Because Australia has outlawed gambling using a credit card. Yeah, a lot of the states in the U.S. don't allow gambling at all. Denied a Walgreens credit card. Screw them. I agree. Never owned a credit card. Really? Wow, Lynette, you are old school. Only have a debit card. Savannah, Georgia. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know they had allowed any type of gambling in Georgia. Okay, so I'm going to Okay. Okay. That took longer than expected, but I'll just go with that. Okay. Sister lived in Savannah for a while and really loved it. Was able to spend 300 US on the Audible sale because I had saved up since the last store-wide sale. Most of the books I bought cost $2 or $3. Man, I miss that. It's called Blue Sky. Sure. Sparkly blue sky. Oh, thank you, Lori. Next pay, I will start saving up for the next store-wide sale. Thank you, Cap. Okay, so I need to go. It's time for chroma cake to add in the black, which will add in the drama. And I forgot to get water. Be right back. Chroma cake is a water-based cosmetic, really for face paint, but the Audible sale is still on, but ends soon. I have to look it up. I mean, it could just be a Australia thing. I don't know. When I was walking the other day, and I usually start by the park. It's called Desert Breeze Park in Las Vegas. And there's, if you look it up, there's like this huge community center there. There's a water park, there's indoor pool. But during the summer, they have some type of, I guess, daycare, but it's for like older kids. By older, I mean, I can't tell kids' ages, but I assume they're between 6 and 10. So when they stop going to, when school's out, the parents can use this daycare center. I guess. So anyway, if I have to use the restroom, I prefer going to the community center rather than using the outdoor toilets because they're disgusting. So, but when there's kids in there, and there's a lot of kids, they don't let the adults and kids use the same bathroom. And I'm like, fine, whatever. So I go in there, I go to use the bathroom, and I must look ridiculous with my big hat and my sun jacket and all this. And this woman goes, "Oh, there's a kid in this bathroom." So I'm like, "Fine, I'll go to the next one down the hallway." So as I go there and I pass these kids, one of the kids reaches up and pats me on the shoulder, like, there, you poor old thing. And I'm like, I must look like some doddering old man doddering around this gym where these kids are like feeling sorry for me. I felt so awkward. I'm going to be glad when the school year starts when I can have my community center to myself. But I guess they are there for the kids. But I'm always surprised when I see young kids out that don't have like a lot of sun protection. And like I said, it's now almost every day it's over 100 degrees out. Like right now it's 102. Which you see young people in the there's a big what do you call it, skateboard section with, with like the big hills and things you can do your tricks on. But I see people using them out there with, doesn't look like a whole lot of sun protection. Okay. And giving daycare to now someone now and she's 91. You wouldn't look out of place wearing a large sun hat in Australia. Schools here make our children wear sun hats. They should do that here. They should, I mean, in Vegas, they should do that. Most kids would rather kick you nowadays. Well, they're like I said, they're under 10 years old. I don't think they would. Never go to the beach anymore. My skin is too pale. It looks like I've been hit with a flamethrower. I mean, I'm, half Japanese. I can get actually pretty dark. But I even put like 50 SPF on underneath the sun hat and the sun jacket and all that jazz. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just do some blue underneath, smoke it out, and then I think the eyes are done. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. This is not a makeup tutorial. And I'm the last person you should take makeup advice from. Okay. I think the eyes, well, actually I just want to blend this a little bit more. Okay. Australia used to have the highest rate of skin cancer in the world. Wow. I'd like to get some sun, but not more than 10 minutes. And it's actually good to get a little bit of sun. I mean, when I lived in San Francisco, where it's foggy all the time, everyone had, or so many people had, vitamin D deficiencies, including myself, where you have to get on these mega doses because no one would get any sun. But yeah, it's good to get a few minutes a day of sun. Used to be out in the sun a lot. Yeah, you should get checked. Yes, DK's here. Whoop, whoop. Oh, you were here most of the time. Well, thank you for joining the conversation. I don't go out in the sun much at all. I'm very careful in the sun, always wear 50 SPF. Yeah. Um, yeah, and I heard that if you see SPFs higher than 50, that's really a marketing gimmick because they don't get higher. But that's what I use. I know I keep saying I'm done, but I keep saying little things to... Okay. I'm just going to go on to the lips. Should I do blue lips? No, I'm just going to do red lips. Skin cancer has gone down, but vitamin D deficiency has gone up. I don't think I would last 10 minutes in the Vegas summer sun, though. You know, you get acclimated to any type of weather. Should I do blue lips? Screw it. I'm going to do blue lips. Let's see. I'll outline in black. Three o'clock here. I've got to run. Okay, thank you for joining us, Lori. Incredible they built a city in the middle of nowhere desert and it took off. Well, I think that's because of the mob. Because, you know, it's out in nowhere and gambling was legal. It's kind of the Wild West of the Americas. So, yeah. DK says, I don't get much over 100 in Louisiana, mostly summer highs in upper 90s with high humidity. See, that's what kills me is a high humidity. In summer, it is easier to burn in Tasmania than it is in hotter states because we have such clear skies. Bugsy Siegel, yeah. Well, it's funny because I guess we're in a perpetual drought here in Vegas. So Lake Mead, which is where we get a lot of our water, and this isn't great, but it's getting lower and lower because of the drought. But the funny thing is, the lower the water level goes in Lake Mead, the more that they're finding bodies. And yes, it's our drinking water, but you know, they're bodies from the 50s, 60s, or whatever, when the mob kind of ruled the city. Let me try. Okay, so I'll try to put a little shine on the okay. I think we're done except for the eyelashes. Blue looks odd, but I really like it. Thank you, DK. In Australia, there are plenty of places to hide a body. Most killers are too lazy or panicked to do a good job. Thank you, DK, one of your favorite looks. Some bones were found on a beach a couple years ago. They're about 40 years old. Like Avatar, but in a good way. Maybe I should switch to a blue wig. I mean, I got my big white one because I'm wearing black and white. Anyway, let me put on these lashes. I think it's time to change to a fresh pair of lashes. Yeah, I'm sure you would think they wouldn't put the bodies in Lake Mead, because that is where your drinking water is. But I mean, we are in the desert. We are out in nowhere. You could just drive, 50 miles out or an hour out and bury a body in the sand somewhere, and no one would ever find it, or unlikely anyone would find it. Anyway, listen to us planning a murder. Okay. So eyelashes are on. And I didn't really plan to do everything blue, but I did get a black and white necklace. A black and silver. And black and white daisy earrings. And the old Doralee 9 to 5 white wig. I guess it's supposed to be platinum blonde, but and I'll zoom out a little bit because I do know this hair is big. Oh, thank you, Cap, if I didn't say thank you already. They identified the Somerton man here in Australia. He was found dead on a beach about 70 years ago, but identity last week. Incredible what they can do with DNA now. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson has an entire branch of black descendants because of Sally Hemings affair. Thank you. Hey, Rico. Snow Queen. You're anything but cold. No, that's a good one, though, Snow Queen. Because I am going to film part 2 of the fantasy authors. And yeah, I guess I could do like a Snow Queenish look. Okay. Oh, and I grabbed these glasses. I'll do them for the photo shoot. Okay, so this is the final look. You guys have inspired me. Thank you, Frank, for saying Snow Queen, because now I know what look to create for a fantasy. Now I don't know whether I should wear this wig or one of the blue wigs for the video. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, guys, I will be here next week for another look and another video. And look out for the release of part 2 of the science fiction authors. I'm filming fantasy authors today, but I'll release this week fantasy authors. And you guys have a terrific week. Thank you again for joining me. And I hope to see you next week. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.